Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a question that might unsettle you in the best possible way. If your dream life walked through that door right now, would the current version of you even be ready to live it? Most people say, yes, of course. But the truth is, your dream life is not waiting on better circumstances. It's not waiting on a miracle. It's not waiting on luck. It's waiting on a different version of you. And that's why I want you to stay with me all the way to the end of this speech. Because by the time we finish, you will understand what version of you your dream life requires and exactly how to start becoming that person today. You see, life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are. If wanting was enough, every one of us would have perfect health, perfect finances. But life responds to discipline, not desire. It responds to consistent actions, not emotional wishes. It responds to the person you become, not the person you pretend to be. Your dream life is a higher floor in the same building you're standing in. But nobody gets access to the penthouse with ground floor habits. The reality of your dream life has requirements, just like a job has requirements. A business has requirements, a championship has requirements. Your dream life has requirements too. And the version of you right now may not meet them yet. And that's not an insult, it's an invitation. Maybe your dream life requires you to be more disciplined, maybe more confident, more consistent, more courageous. Maybe it requires you to say no more often, or finally say yes to yourself. Change doesn't start with motivation, it starts with identity. Motivation is temporary, identity is permanent. If you keep telling yourself, I'm not the kind of person who wakes up early, I'm not the kind of person who invests, I'm not the kind of person who takes risks, then your dream life will stay a dream because the identity you've accepted won't allow a better future to arrive. To build your dream life, you must start saying, I am the kind of person who grows, who decides, who commits. Your dream life needs a creator, not a dreamer. Growth always feels uncomfortable. You know why? Change feels painful. Because you're letting go of the old version of yourself, the familiar one, the predictable one, the safe one. But hear me carefully. The pain of growth is temporary. The pain of regret lasts a lifetime. Don't fear the person you must become. Fear staying exactly who you are. Reinvention is not a one-time event. It's a daily upgrading. Every morning you wake up, you're choosing. Do I stay the same? Or do I evolve? The future belongs to those who upgrade daily. Habits, thinking, discipline, attitude. Remember this line, keep it with you. Your dream life won't meet you halfway. It will meet you at the level of the person you choose to become. Conclusion. So today, make a decision, not a small decision, a life-altering one. Decide who you must become. Decide what habits you must destroy. Decide what behaviors you must adopt. Decide what limits you must release, because your dream life is real. Your dream life is waiting, but it needs a stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more courageous version of you. And the moment you become that version, your dream life will no longer be a dream. It will be your reality. Your dream life exists, but you, as you are today, don't. Your dream life, the one you imagine on the days when your heart is honest and your fears are quiet, already exists in possibility. It is real in potential, waiting on the horizon like a sunrise that's ready to break through the darkness. But here is the truth most people never face. The life you want exists, but the you who can live that life does not exist yet. This is not an insult. This is your greatest opportunity. Think about it. Every meaningful goal, every major breakthrough, every life upgrade requires a different version of you. Not a different body, not a different brain, not a different destiny, but a different level of discipline, awareness, habits, courage, and responsibility. Your dream life is a higher floor in the building of your potential. And you can't walk into that floor using the staircase of your old habits. Now, this is where many people get stuck. They believe their dream life is waiting on perfect timing, or a lucky break, or external changes, or someone to come save them. But life doesn't work like that. Life doesn't respond to hope, it responds to growth. Life doesn't pay you for intention, it pays you for transformation. So hear this clearly. Who you are today is perfectly designed for the life you currently have. Your daily routines, your mindset, your habits, your decisions, they all align with the results you're living. But the life you dream about requires a new alignment, a new identity, a new standard. The you who lives your dream life wakes up with clarity, not confusion. They have habits that support their greatness, not sabotage it. They carry discipline like armor. They speak differently, think differently, choose differently. They aren't controlled by fear. They aren't slaves to procrastination. They don't negotiate with laziness. They don't lower their standards to fit old environments. This upgraded version of you is not imaginary. It is potential energy waiting to be activated. But that potential won't unlock itself. Potential never upgrades by accident. Growth never arrives uninvited. To reach your dream life, you must consciously build the version of yourself who's capable of living it. And this process starts with honesty, radical, uncomfortable, unfiltered honesty. Ask yourself, what habits must I retire? What excuses do I keep defending? What version of me keeps holding me back? Which fears have I allowed to make my decisions? These questions are the doorway, and when you ask them sincerely, you begin to see something powerful. Your dream life isn't impossible. It is just incompatible with your current patterns. You don't need a new year. You don't need a new environment. You don't need approval, applause, or permission. You need a new identity, a version of you who shows up even when you don't feel like it, a version of you who sets boundaries, who respects discipline, who invests in learning, who refuses to shrink back into comfort. Because your dream life is not waiting for the world to change, it's waiting for you to change. Not change in your worth, not change in your value, but change in your habits, your thinking, your discipline, your courage, your self-belief. And the moment you begin building that new version of yourself, the moment you break the patterns that have kept you stuck, the moment you step into the identity your dream life requires, you will discover something life-changing. Your dream life wasn't far away. It was simply locked behind the door of your next transformation. Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract. Most people spend their entire lives chasing success. They chase money, chase recognition, chase confidence, chase breakthroughs, chase miracles, yet somehow these things seem to run faster than they do. The more they chase, the farther success moves away. Why? Because success is not a running target. It's a magnetic one. You don't chase success. You attract it by becoming the kind of person who naturally produces it. Think of success like a seed. You cannot demand a harvest. You cannot scream at the soil. You cannot run after the crop. All you can do is cultivate yourself into the type of gardener who understands planting, watering, nurturing, and patience. Success is the harvest, but you are the soil, and the soil must be prepared long before the seed is planted. The problem is this: most people try to change their results without changing themselves. They want the reward without the refinement. They want the fruit without reshaping the tree. They want the outcome without altering the habits that create the outcome. But the universe works on a simple principle. You don't get what you want. You get what you are prepared for. Want more money? Become more valuable. Want better relationships? Become someone who communicates, respects, listens, and grows. Want confidence? Do the uncomfortable things that build confidence. Want opportunities? Become reliable, skillful, disciplined, and trustworthy so opportunities are drawn to you. Success is simply the outward expression of inner preparation. You attract success by shaping your character, your discipline, your mindset, your habits. When you elevate these things, success has no choice but to rise to meet you. It's like gravity. You don't see it working, but you feel it working. Here's a truth that may surprise you. You don't work for success, you work on yourself, and success works for you. Because when you become stronger inside, the outside world begins to reflect that strength. When you improve your skills, opportunities start appearing. When you become consistent, results become inevitable. When you practice discipline, achievement becomes natural. When you sharpen your thinking, decisions become clearer and smarter. When you upgrade your identity, your entire life upgrades with it. Success is attracted to competence. Success is attracted to clarity. Success is attracted to commitment. Success is attracted to people who follow through, who take responsibility, who refuse excuses, who choose progress over perfection. Success is not an accident, it is a mirror that reflects who you've become. So ask yourself today, am I becoming the kind of person my dream results would be attracted to? If not, don't be discouraged. Be determined, because attraction isn't magic. It's method, it's repetition, it's intentional habits that reshape you from the inside out. Every time you wake up early when you don't feel like it, the magnet grows. Every time you stay consistent when others quit, the magnet grows. Every time you learn instead of scrolling, develop instead of doubting, act instead of waiting, the magnet grows. Success doesn't come because you wish for it. It comes because you're becoming a person impossible to ignore. And once you transform the inner world, the outer world cannot resist aligning with it. Remember this. Stop chasing success. Start becoming someone success is drawn to, because once you become that version of yourself, success doesn't run away. It runs toward you. Your current habits match your current life, not the life you want. One of the most powerful truths you will ever learn is this: your life right now is a perfect reflection of your habits. Not your dreams, not your intentions, not your wishes, your habits. If you want to know what kind of future you're heading toward, don't look at your goals. Look at your daily routine, because the life you're living today was built quietly, slowly, unconsciously by the actions you repeat every day. The small decisions you make when nobody is watching. Habits are the architects of destiny, and they never fail to build exactly what you instruct them to build. And here's the catch: your current habits match your current life, not the life you want. This is why change feels so difficult. You're trying to create a better life using patterns designed for a lesser one. You're trying to reach new heights with habits built for survival, not success. The habits you've lived with until now served a purpose. They helped you reach this point. But the life you dream of requires upgraded instructions. It demands behaviors, routines, and actions that reflect a higher version of you. For example, If your dream life includes health, energy, and strength, then habits of sleeping late, overeating, or avoiding movement simply don't match that outcome. If your dream life includes financial abundance, then habits of overspending, avoiding learning, or ignoring opportunities cannot create that reality. If your dream life includes emotional peace, then habits of reacting, complaining, or holding grudges don't support it. You cannot plant laziness and harvest confidence. You cannot plant distractions and harvest discipline. You cannot plant excuses and harvest excellence. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not distance, it's habits. And this is good news, because habits are not destiny. They are decisions repeated enough times to become automatic, which means you can rewire them, you can redesign them, you can replace them, you can shape them intentionally instead of accidentally. Let's go deeper. Your dream life will require habits that your present self may resist because they demand more discipline, more responsibility, more self-control than you're currently used to. Waking up early, reading daily, saving money, saying no to comfort, saying yes to growth, practicing patience, choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. These habits may feel uncomfortable at first, not because they're impossible, but because they don't yet match the identity you've been living with. But remember this, the discomfort of new habits is simply the process of building a new future. Think of your habits as employees. Every day you give them instructions, and they carry out your future accordingly. If you give habits of procrastination the job, they will deliver a delayed future. If you give habits of discipline the job, they will deliver a successful future. Your habits don't care about your dreams, they only follow your instructions. So ask yourself honestly today, do my habits belong to the person I am or the person I want to become? Because if nothing changes in your daily routine, nothing will change in your life. Your dream life isn't built in a moment. It's built in the repetition of small, powerful, aligned actions that compound over time. The life you want will require habits you've never practiced before. And the moment you begin practicing those habits, even imperfectly, something incredible happens. Your identity begins to shift. Your belief begins to grow. Your results begin to change. And slowly, consistently, inevitably, your habits start matching the life you want, and the life you want begins to match you. Dreams require trade-offs. You can't be who you've been and become who you want to be at the same time. Every dream has a price. Not always in money, not always in effort, but always in transformation. Because here's the truth people rarely say out loud. You cannot hold on to your old self and expect to walk into a new life. You cannot cling to old habits, old thinking, old patterns, old fears, and still become the person you dream of becoming. Your dream life is not built on top of who you are today. It is built on top of who you are willing to become. And becoming someone new always requires letting go of someone old. This is the trade-off. Many people want success without sacrifice. They want growth without discomfort. They want improvement without change. They want a different life while living the same day over and over. But transformation doesn't work like that. Life doesn't allow you to stay in the old version of yourself while receiving the rewards meant for the new version. Something has to be exchanged. Something has to be released. Something has to be surrendered. You must give up what is comfortable to gain what is powerful. Think about it. If your dream life includes confidence, then you must trade the identity that hides doubts and avoids challenges. If your dream life includes financial freedom, then you must trade impulsive spending for discipline, trade entertainment for education, trade short-term pleasure for long-term reward. If your dream life includes peace, then you must trade drama, toxic environments, and the habit of reacting to everything. If your dream life includes growth, then you must trade laziness for consistency, excuses for responsibility, and fear for courage. Every dream asks a question. What part of your old self are you willing to leave behind to get here? Most people answer with silence. Not because they don't want the dream, but because they don't want the trade. But the highest version of you does not arrive without letting go of the lowest version. You can't keep your limitations and gain your liberation. You can't keep your excuses and gain your excellence. You can't keep your comfort zone and gain your calling. You can't keep your fears and gain your future. Every breakthrough has a cost. The cost is the old you. And this is not punishment, it is preparation. The old you is necessary to survive your past. The new you is necessary to create your future. Understand this deeply. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is the gap between who you are and who you must become. The dreams you carry are not random. They are invitations. Invitations to rise, to expand, to upgrade, to strengthen, to evolve. But you cannot evolve while protecting your old identity. Evolution demands disruption. Elevation demands separation. Transformation demands release. You must release the habits that lower you. Release the environments that drain you. Release the friends who discourage you. Release the routines that keep you stagnant. Release the doubts that keep you small. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Always. Because the moment you let go of who you were, you make space for who you can become. And the moment you step into that new version, life begins to rearrange itself around your new identity. Opportunities open. Energy increases, confidence, clarity deepens. Doors appear where walls once stood. Everything begins to align, not because life changed, but because you did. So remember this truth. Your dream life is not far away. It is just on the other side of the person you're afraid to become. And once you make the trade, once you release the old version of yourself, your dream life will trade places with your current one. Growth feels uncomfortable because it is creating a different you. Growth is a strange experience. It feels heavy before it feels empowering. It feels confusing before it feels clear. It feels painful before it feels purposeful. And there's a reason for that. Growth is not just adding something new to your life. It is creating a different version of you, not a slightly improved version, not a slightly more disciplined version, a different you. The moment you decide to grow, you begin a silent battle inside yourself, a battle between who you have been and who you are capable of becoming. And these two versions of you will not agree with each other. The old version wants comfort. The new version wants progress. The old version wants the familiar. The new version wants the future. The old version wants the path of least resistance. The new version wants the path of greatest potential. This inner conflict is why growth feels uncomfortable. You're not just learning something new, you're unlearning something old. You're not just adding strength, you're shedding weakness. You're not just building habits, you're breaking patterns. Transformation requires demolition before construction, and demolition is never comfortable. Think about the moments when you try to change. You decide to wake up earlier, and your body fights you. You decide to eat healthier, and your cravings fight you. You decide to save money, and your impulses fight you. You decide to speak up, and your fears fight you. Why does everything resist? Because the old version of you has lived longer. It has momentum. It has comfort. It has history. Growth requires you to interrupt that history, and your old self doesn't like being interrupted. But here's the truth you must remember. Growth isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to feel transformative, and transformation rarely feels comfortable while it's happening. The caterpillar doesn't transform into a butterfly by taking a nap. It breaks itself down inside the cocoon, literally dissolves into a new form. It must endure the darkness and pressure before it earns its wings. You are no different. Every time you push yourself, stretch yourself, challenge yourself, you are dissolving an old part of your identity and replacing it with a stronger, wiser, more capable version. That's why discipline burns. That's why consistency stings. That's why courage shakes. That's why change feels like resistance. The pain you feel is not punishment. It is construction. It is the birth of a version of you that you have never met before. Listen carefully to this part. The discomfort of growth is temporary. The regret of staying the same lasts a lifetime. One day you will look back at this season of discomfort and realize it was the doorway to everything you prayed for, hoped for, and worked for. Growth may feel heavy right now, but so does staying small, so does wasting potential, so does living below your capability, so does repeating the same year over and over. At least the weight of growth leads somewhere. It leads upward, it leads forward, it leads to a version of you that your dream life can trust. So the next time growth feels uncomfortable, remember this: you are not breaking down. You are breaking through. You are not losing yourself. You are losing the limitations that never belonged to you. You are not becoming someone new. You are finally becoming who you were meant to be. So let discomfort come. Let resistance come. Let the struggle come. Because these are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that you are evolving. And on the other side of this discomfort lies the future you've been dreaming about, the future you've been working for, the future that requires a different version of you. Reinvention is a daily choice. Your dream life isn't built by one big step, but by hundreds of small, upgraded decisions. When people talk about transformation, they imagine a dramatic moment, one breakthrough decision, one bold action, one life-changing opportunity. But real reinvention doesn't happen in a single moment. It doesn't arrive with fireworks. It doesn't announce itself. Reinvention is built quietly, patiently, consistently through the small choices you make every single day. Not the loud choices, not the glamorous choices. Not the choices people celebrate, the small ones, the ones nobody sees, but you don't reinvent your life in a day. You reinvent your life daily. Every morning you wake up, you are presented with two versions of yourself, the version you've always been and the version you could become. And every decision you make is a vote for one of them. When you choose discipline over distraction, you cast a vote for your future self. When you choose responsibility over excuses, you reinforce your new identity. When you choose consistency over chaos, you strengthen the foundation of your dream life. When you choose effort over comfort, you evolve into someone unrecognizable to your old patterns. Reinvention is not one big leap. It is hundreds of small upgrades accumulating into a transformation. The problem is that most people underestimate the power of these small decisions. They want the result instantly. They want the dream without the daily grind. They want the future without the framework. But hear this clearly. Your dream life isn't built on intensity, it's built on consistency. A single workout won't transform your health, but daily discipline will. Reading one chapter won't transform your mind, but daily learning will. Saving money one time won't transform your finances, but consistent financial discipline will. One moment of courage won't transform your confidence, but choosing courage daily will. Transformation comes from repetition, not inspiration. This is empowering because it means you don't need to turn your whole life upside down to reinvent yourself. You don't need massive changes. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need a dramatic turning point. All you need is today and the willingness to make one decision, a slightly better one than yesterday. That is the secret of reinvention. It is the accumulation of tiny wins. Every time you choose to improve even 1%, you are moving closer to the version of yourself your dream life requires. And eventually, these small choices compound. They stack on top of each other. They build momentum. They create identity. Until one day, you wake up and realize you no longer recognize the person you used to be. You no longer think like them. You no longer react like them. You no longer settle for what they settled for. You no longer fear what they feared. This is the magic of daily reinvention. It turns impossible dreams into inevitable realities. But you must understand this. Reinvention is not a feeling. It is a choice. Some days you'll feel motivated, many days you won't. But your dream life doesn't ask for your feelings. It asks for your decisions. Every small decision is a brick. Every consistent choice is a beam. Every disciplined action is a pillar, and your dream life is the structure built from those materials. So the question is not, can you reinvent yourself? The question is, will you choose to do it today? Because your dream life isn't waiting for a perfect moment. It's waiting for a consistent person. And when your daily decisions begin to align with your highest identity, your dream life stops being a dream and starts becoming your destiny.